He doesn't care. He seems totally unbothered. In fact, he says, hey, this crisis, not in my jurisdiction. Unbelievable. Watch.
My strong opinion is that everything we're doing is working, but my strong opinion is that's not enough. And secondly, it's not preventing people who are entering homelessness. And the city doesn't have the power or the departments to address that on our own. In fact, most of those things aren't even under our jurisdiction.
All right, my next guest is witnessing the homelessness crisis firsthand because as it grows, it is moving outside the LA city limits. It is hitting the rest of the community right now. Joining me as we speak, the Republican mayor of Laguna Hills, California, Mayor Don Sedgwick. It's good to have you here, Mr. Mayor. What's your fear there?
Well, my fear is that the homelessness issue just continues to rise. You know, millions of dollars have been spent on homelessness, and yet it has dramatically increased over the last decade. It just shows that the liberal policies that have been in place to treat homelessness, to take care of it, have completely failed. And these are regular people. These are people with kids. Many of these are military veterans who have risked their lives on our behalf, and we just can't sit by. It breaks my heart. I do business up in Los Angeles. I'm in the jewelry industry, and sometimes I'm up there and I see blocks and blocks of tens of thousands of Americans that are living in third world conditions, and it's just not right, and we've got to do something about it.
You know, we could do something about it. We very easily could. And you know what sort of blows me away is this idea that liberals, they're supposed to care. The Democratic Party is supposed to care about all these people, right? And yet they're not doing anything to help them, to get them into shelters and to get them the medical attention that they need. How come?
Well, I think that they're not looking at the root of the problem. I think everybody's looking at just the symptoms and treating those and providing food and shelter, which is important. But the root of the problem is that the Democratic policies over the last couple of decades have largely gone unchecked. In California, they've had about 3/4 of the state legislature, so they've been able to tax, over-regulate, and those costs have been borne by the consumers, by the people who are least able to afford them. They think that they're taxing businesses, but all of those taxes are passed down to the consumer. It has sent home prices escalating into skyrocketing prices, and then you combine that with the gas taxes. We're paying $4 a gallon for gas out here, and so people, they can't afford to buy a home close to where they work in LA and Orange County, so they buy a home maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours east, where they have to travel 2 hours, up to 2 hours to commute each way every day and pay $4 a gallon for gas, and now they're talking about a miles driven tax that they're going to add on top of that. You combine that with the water tax, the income tax, and the sales taxes, and it has just made California untenable to live for most people.
I feel for you because I think it's a beautiful state. I used to actually live in San Francisco. We had a big homeless problem there as well that the left couldn't really deal with. But, you know, look, it's a beautiful place, but it increasingly has just become unbearable. And I think from a tax standpoint, more and more people are saying, wait, you know, there's a better opportunity for me maybe in Nevada. And so you're kind of left, Mr. Mayor, with the haves and have-nots, right? It's
That's right.
that hourglass economy I talk about a lot. A lot of people on top, a lot of people on the bottom. But your middle class, which really is the strength of a society, increasingly is feeling the pinch. So time to do something about it. It's good to have you here tonight. Thanks for speaking out.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, coming up, everyone, college students.